The Phillies take on the Pirates, 105 Eastern first pitch. Philadelphia's minus 150, totals 9. Pittsburgh's plus $1.25 for some money line cash. And if you like them on the run line, they're minus 135, catching the 1.5. Mitch Keller expected on the bump here for Pittsburgh. Kyle Gibson for the Titans. And following a 3-2 day on my Patreon website yesterday, that's going to make it our 5th straight winning day on that Patreon page. We're currently 4-1 in our last 5 $1.99 daily best plays on that Patreon site. We're also 4-1 in our last 5 Major League Baseball tier package picks on that Patreon page as well. And the good news is we have plays going off in both of those tier memberships here today. We finished the month of July with over 975 members who were signed up and active on that site. And if you want to see which one of these YouTube picks I'm actually betting on personally, link for that page is in the description section below. That's patreon.com/BrockPage. Despite some really good numbers out of Gibson this year playing in the American League, he still ended up walking 41 batters thus far in the year. The Phils have also lost 4 out of their last 5 ball games, with 2 of those losses coming against Pittsburgh. As a matter of fact, the Phils have scored just 2 total runs during this current series with the Pirates. This Phillies lineup is in the bottom 10 in the majors in strikeouts at the plate. The Phils have also gotten the W in just 20 out of 52 road games. Now they're taking on a Pittsburgh club who cashed in on the run line in 50% of their home games. This Pittsburgh lineup is also in the top 5 in fewest strikeouts at the plate. Brian Reynolds is batting .309 with 18 homers and 58 RBI. The outfielder is currently 9th in the league in batting average and also has an OPS of .914. This Pittsburgh lineup is also in the upper half of the league in home walks at the plate. Despite a handful of, I'll admit it, relatively shaky starts out of Mitch Keller this year, he's still averaging over a strikeout an inning. Now, total-wise, 3 out of Pittsburgh's last 5 at PNC Park stayed under the posted number. Meanwhile, the Phillies went 60% to the under in their last 10 themselves, 2-0 to the under in their last 2 on the road. I'm going to lean toward the Pittsburgh Pirates plus 1.5 and the under 9 runs. Next ball game, it is going to be Cubs versus the Nats, 1:05 p.m. East. The Washington Nationals are minus 120, totals 8.5 flat. Eric Fetty for Washington, Albert Alzolay for Chicago. And despite some shaky outings for Alzolay, the righties fanned 95 batters in just over 93 innings of work. A lot of strikeouts for Alzolay. He also comes into today's contest with a 1.13 whip. This Cubs pitching staff is in the top 10 in the league in striking batters out on the road. They're taking on a Washington club, kind of a new-look Washington club, who shipped off a lot of core talent this past week to other teams. They've also lost 7 out of their last 10 ball games, and they find themselves 8 games below 500. Now, this Washington lineup is in the bottom 10 in home scoring, bottom 10 in home walks at the plate. Meanwhile, this Nationals pitching staff is in the bottom 10 in striking batters out at home, and that's certainly surprising considering you had Max Scherzer in your rotation for most of the season. Now, he's in Los Angeles now, but certainly an alarming stat there with regard to strikeouts. Now, Eric Fetty, he's just 4-7 on the year with a 5.05 ERA and a 1.42 whip. The righties also walked 35 batters compared to just 68 strikeouts. When it comes to the number in this one, 7 out of Washington's last 10 ball games stayed under the number. The Nats are officially 36-18 to the under in Washington. Meanwhile, the Cubbies went 34-20 to the under when they traveled themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Chicago Cubs plus $1 and the under 8.5. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup for Part 1. It is going to be Royals versus the Blue Jays, 107 East. The Toronto Blue Jays are minus 250, numbers 10. Jose Barrios possible for Toronto. Brad Keller expected for Kansas City. Now Keller's just 7-9 on the year, 5.55 ERA and a 1.67 WHIP. The Royals have lost 3 out of their last 5, with 2 of those losses coming against Toronto. The Royals have also won only 17 out of 50 road games, and that's good for just 34% in that category. Kansas City averages only 3.6 runs a game when they travel. They're also in the bottom 10 in road hits. They're taking on a Toronto club who's gone 4-1 straight up in their last 5, and they lead the majors in home scoring. Vlad Guerrero Jr. is batting .327 with 33 home runs. Vladdy's also leading the majors with 83 ribbies and an OPS of 1.078. Meanwhile, Marcus Semion's hit 24 homers and knocked in 64. And of course, no real surprise here, the Blue Jays are also leading the majors in home hits per game. Now, the Jays also recently acquired Jose Barrios from Minnesota for a sack of used baseballs. Barrios racked up 7 wins with the last place Twins along with a .348 ERA. The righties fanned 126 batters already and has a very impressive 1.04 WHIP. And when it comes to the scoring in this one, Toronto's 27-19 to the over at Solon Field. I'm going to lean toward the Toronto Blue Jays -1.5. And the over 10 runs. But that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Powered to you by my Patreon website. I like Pittsburgh +1.5, under 9 runs. Chicago Cubs +$1, under 8.5. Before I give you my next and final free pick for the video, one final reminder that we are 4-1 in our last 5, $1.99 daily best plays on my Patreon website. We're also 4-1 in our last 5 Major League Baseball tier package picks on that Patreon page as well. I'm going to lean toward the Toronto Blue Jays -1.5. And the over 10 runs. Of that, guys, now it's time for our shout out of the day. And of course, that goes to South Plainfield Striker, who said, "Thanks, Brock. No Scooby snacks lost here." And of course, that is a pretty funny comment there. That's in reference to G the Husky, who left a comment the other day about losing 100 Scooby snacks. And I guess G the Husky, obviously it's a human, and I guess they're impersonating their pet husky on YouTube. And so apparently I cost G the Husky 100 Scooby snacks. And, South Plainfield Striker coming to my aid saying, "No Scooby snacks lost here." But anyway, guys, that is going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. Hey, guys, it is the first of the month. It's a 31-day month. So this is your absolute best value to get a membership here today on Patreon. I always remind you guys, Patreon bills you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So guys, if you end up getting a membership here today, you're going to get billed here today on August 1st, and you're not going to get billed again until September 1st. When you sign up for a membership here today, you're going to get access to that content all the way through the end of August. So this is one of the best months to sign up. It's the first of the month, and it's a 31-day month. So great value. It's a max value day for Patreon potential members. But most importantly, guys, and I'll tell you what, I always tell people too, the earlier in the month you sign up, the better. Well, it doesn't get any earlier than August 1st. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. I already told you, don't forget to check me out on Patreon. But most importantly, guys, gotta thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, guys, happy Sunday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.